Hi, everybody, and welcome back to TV for Real, where reality and scripted TV collide. My name is Mike Bloom. I am joined, as always, by Sasha Joseph. Sasha, how's it going?
So ready. I need my fix. So we had to get things moving today. Okay, I'm ready to be here.
Well, the person we're talking with today knows a thing or two about needing a fix, and
oh, come on, low-hanging fruit, Mike. Jeez.
well, we have come to the tree of Hannah Rose for all types of fruit, as we are going to talk about her tastes in scripted television. So happy to have you here, Hannah. How are you?
So glad to be here. So pumped. Anyone that knows me knows that my love language is watching shows with the person I'm dating, or in this case, married to. So this is great.
Was there a connecting show between you and your now husband, which we should say congrats on your recent wedding?
Yes.
Thank you so much. I know I might have lost. I might have quit Survivor in this completely embarrassing way, but someone loves me, and that's important.
Oh.
Yeah, I think for me, a big test in the relationship was, are you willing to watch all seasons of Lost with me? Because Lost, here's a Lost
Yes.
is like one of my favorite shows of all time. And he said yes. And so we proceeded to watch every show that I am like obsessed with in a row. And I was like, okay, this could work.
He's him. I love it.
He's him.
He's your constant.
Oh, what a great reference.
Well, yeah, we need to talk about this because, Hannah, when you and I met in person last fall, you showed this up to me, and it was really, talk about not mistaking coincidence for fate. I mean, as someone who is a devout follower of Lost, talking about it, ad infinitum alongside Josh Wigler, talk to me about when you got into the show and what got you into the show.
Oh my God. I don't even remember how old I was. I'm pretty sure it was on TV. So it was like week to week waiting period. I remember that about Lost and about Grey's Anatomy and the OC. Those are like, yeah, millennial up in this bitch.
Yes.
So Lost, and honestly, I do think subconsciously my love and affinity for Lost is why I was like, I have to go to the island. And even now I'm sometimes like, I have to go back, even though I don't want to go back, because like being marooned on an island is so losty. And I know that Charlie from Lost is a Survivor fan. And I was like, I need him to know that I exist. So I loved everything about it. I mean, the psychology, the challenges of surviving, ironic, and everything about it. And there are naysayers who shit on the ending. And to them, I say, you just don't have the capacity to hold the space for this show.
Say it again. Say it louder.
Do you have any favorite characters, any consistent ones? Because also, as a therapist, I would imagine like all these people have issues out the wazoo that must be so fun to analyze.
Yeah, I mean, rewatching it as an adult, like after clinical training, when I was teaching at a college, I was teaching abnormal psych. What I had them do for their main project was watch a show and diagnose a character and write up a whole case conceptualization. So they loved it and I loved it because I was like, shows, like I love shows. So not pathologizing any of them. I mean, such a basic bitch here. I love Sawyer. I mean, if I were to bear children, which I don't want to, I would name it Sawyer. Or Juliet.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
hated Juliet at first, but yeah, Sawyer, Charlie. I mean, I was like a budding drug addict, sober 13 years. And, so Charlie and his whole like, let me low-key do heroin in the airplane bathroom. I was like, yeah, before I ever even like drank, but still, it resonated.
I'm obsessed with you. This is so funny because for me, obviously, it was Saeed, but representation minimal for us Indians. So here, or South Asians. So here we are.
Also, Saeed is just objectively daddy. I'm like, you can torture me. You want to pull a nail or two off? Like, go right ahead.
That's the Zaddy calendar right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is that Lost was, despite it groundbreaking everything, it was a show on broadcast television in the early 2000s. Like, there were plenty of men to make that Zaddy calendar. You've got Desmond as well, pulling off, like, the man bun look.
My favorite episode of the whole series is The Constant.
Of course.
And I don't know if you remember that on Facebook, there used to be, like, an About Me place, and I would put quotes because, like, emo girl. And I put the letter that Penny wrote Desmond, and that was in my About Me on Facebook. So I was like, I'm giving myself chills. I love shows.
And it wasn't even in the, like, you know, when people wrote the notes, like
Yeah.
that whole section that they took out,
Oh, yeah.
basically. But no, it's
No,
legitly
it was
in
about
front and
me.
center. Yeah.
Yeah, I over identify with characters. Shows are my life. I mean, so yeah, I think there was something to it, like with going on Survivor, like I'm gonna be a character now. And then it was like, oh no.
Well, so you talk about, living through shows. What is the first show you remember that you were like really, really into?
The OC.
Ooh.
Yeah, the OC. I had older sisters, and so they were really into it. I remember being really into the OC week to week. And also, I think I was 16 when I started Grey's Anatomy, like on TV. And I actually, when I went to college, declared pre-med. Again, delusional? Maybe she is. Like, it's giving delusional. I declared pre-med because of Grey's and Scrubs. I was like, this will be my life.
Up.
Mhm.
Oh my,
Yeah,
wait, so which character on Grey's has like had this profound impact, or was it just
I
I
mean,
love sex in break rooms?
sex in break rooms. Was I a virgin at 6? No, I wasn't. Oh, gross. Sorry, world, but whatever. I think that's pretty
I
normal.
love it.
But yeah, I think, obviously Mare, her whole, I mean, I literally quoted her in some of my Survivor pregame interviews because I regrettably
Pick
called
me,
Kendra
choose me.
a pick me girl,
Oh.
which is a Grey's Anatomy reference.
Wait,
She's
pick-me's are a Grey's Anatomy reference?
Yup. Meredith Grey sent
Yes.
Derek Shepherd, so pick me, choose me. And it's the origination of the pick me girl.
Correct.
I'm still learning things about Grey's Anatomy every day I exist on this earth, it seems. I had no
Life-changing.
idea.
Yeah,
Hannah,
I mean,
we
I
did
feel like
a
I know
whole
how to
episode.
intubate someone. Oh, you did?
Yeah, we did a whole episode where Kelly, Kelly Wentworth, and I went through each and every like ridiculous, whatever ridiculous plot line, and we didn't even make it. I think we stopped at the shooting, but that was the hour basically.
Trauma,
But
big T
we
trauma.
went through it with Mike, and that was Mike's face the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty profound. I will say, as someone who has been present for a shooting, weird fun fact about me. Right before we moved to Asheville, North Carolina, which is where I live now, we lived in Baltimore City, and we went to go see the Hunger Games prequel, which was fire. And as soon as the movie ended,
No, Catching Fire was the second one.
I mean, obviously, but like if I need a Hunger Games fix, I'll go for that daddy, President Snow, as a youth. Whoa. I was like,
yes, okay.
attracted to him. And yeah, anyway, there was a shooting and it was like super traumatic. It was this whole thing. And then we were like, we're moving. And we did. I will say the Grey's Anatomy shooting double episode was more traumatic.
Yeah. Wow. I can't even, I beg that most people can't relate.
Yeah. Yeah. I like
that
asked
is
my
so
therapist,
American.
okay?
I'm embarrassed.
I know, just casually at a shooting. No one died, so I can like kind of joke about
Fair.
it. But so that's something. But yeah, those episodes, the introduction of Mick Steamy, which is really disturbing watching him in Euphoria.
Oh, I don't watch Euphoria.
Whoa. Well, his character is unwell.
Is he a teacher?
Levels. He's like a pedophilic predator. Yeah, like disgusting older man being a predator for trans women. Yeah, it was so, and I was like, Mick Steamy, no, like you are no longer a sexual fantasy.
I don't
it's like, they killed you for a reason.
I mean, yeah, we talked about this last week with Danny from The Amazing Race. Like, I just don't understand. Look, a gig is a gig, but if you're that actor that's like, I'm known for being a heartthrob, you know what will really get people on my side? If I play this creepo depot, really show off my range, like
I know
there's a cost benefit analysis that needs to be done with that.
I know. I guess as an actor, and it's your craft, right? And it's your work and your vocation. Like he did such a phenomenal job because it's so cringy. But anyway, he fell from grace for me. So now if I were to watch Grey's, I'm like, he's hot, but he's sick.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my. I'm trying to think because I feel like the Harry Potter kids like went on this weird thing as well, right? Where they were like, "Oh, we have to break out like our roles, so we must do something totally outrageous."
Yeah,
And
like Daniel Radcliffe had his dick out on Broadway.
exactly what I was thinking of. I was like, like it's outrageous. And poor Daniel Radcliffe also was battling a lot of stuff on set. On the last
Alcoholism.
Yep.
Scene. Yeah.
So it's
Representation.
crazy. Yeah. So that's what I think of is like I think there must be some bridge that doesn't actually make sense and maybe folks shouldn't cross, but they do to let go.
And I still love them for it, you know?
Because they are people at the end of the day. There's some sort of need within them, whether it's the need to like show themselves in one way or a very different way.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Anyway, all good shows. Grey's 10 out of 10.
Well, I don't think you're the only person, though, that probably got more into the medical professional world as a result of Grey's Anatomy. And you're also probably not the only person to be like, oh, this isn't like the way it's shown on TV. Because I think, yes, it was the early 2000s. The medium had been around for a while, but still, I mean, it kind of romanticizes it a little bit.
Absolutely. Like you don't, it's like Survivor. This is how like traumatized I am by my 3-day experience. I'm like, everything comes back to Survivor. So sorry. I know it's like also a Survivor podcast. This one isn't, but yeah, it's like you watch it on TV and there are these characters and you're like, I could do that. I mean, that's what I did with going pre-med and that's what I did with going on Survivor. And when I watched Quantico, the ABC show,
yes,
I applied for the FBI.
No, you're okay. Now say no. You must say more.
No, like something's wrong with me. My husband and I both did at the time. This was like 5 or 6 years ago, and I was working as a counselor at a treatment center, and I just like applied for the FBI and got an interview.
What was it?
Well, it's just like a questionnaire, and you.
No, I meant sorry. That like attracted to you, yeah.
Same thing, right? It's like hot people in boot camp, and then being detectives. We just finished re-binging all 8 seasons of Homeland, arguably one of the greatest shows of all time. And I said to him, should we become like detectives and like maybe go to the CIA? And he was like, something is deeply wrong with you. But yes.
But sure, sign me up. I'm intrigued though what you're talking about with the application process. This sounds like the Jeopardy test. Like your fellow season 45 cast members just like, yeah, fill this out. If you pass enough questions, you move on to the next round.
Yes. I mean, Survivor, same thing. It's like send a 30-second video. And if you're funny or like, in my case, wearing Invisalign and then taking it out in the middle of the thing, oh, you're so authentic. We should cast you.
But I see why. Like this is the stuff that I think gets people cast. You know, is that when they're like, I watched Quantico and I decided I could do it. Yeah,
should maybe be a red flag. Maybe
no. I mean, for you as your and your growth, correct. But I think unfortunately for us sick viewers that like to see, almost naked, starving people on an island.
Yeah. I do love when they suffer. I love it. I really hope, just as a side note, Andy finds the Yellow Tribe's immunity idol just because chaos will ensue. I'm like, suffer.
Period.
Ha!
Period.
Yeah, I love it. I love being on my couch with food, watching Survivor. There's nothing better.
Well, you mentioned Grey's, you mentioned Quantico. Are you really into a lot of those procedural shows, or are those more the exception than the rule?
I like a little bit of everything. I'm a scripted show bitch. I mean, but like there are some serial killer procedurals like The Fall, The Killing. Yes. I mean, 10 out of 10. I have a list of shows to watch next and then shows to rewatch. Like 24 is on there. Yeah, I do love that. I don't listen to or watch true crime, but I watch a lot of crime shows. But I also love like Bridgerton and anything that Shonda Rhimes touches.
That's true. Okay, give me your Bridgerton thoughts, because this is something that Sasha and I both have seen. So I'm intrigued.
Interesting. Okay, when season 1 first came out, loved it. Was like, am I in heat? Like this was that actor.
Yeah.
Like Jean Roger Paul or whatever his beautiful name is. I was like, I am monogamous, but I would make an exception. Like I was, holy shit, I just loved everything about it. Yeah. And I loved the period piece of it. I just loved it. Season 2, loved. Queen Charlotte, gobbled it up. Actually, someone who works on Survivor, like as a tech who I'm very close with, was like, you need to watch this. And I was like sobbing watching it, texting her, and it was like this beautiful thing. The last season, haven't even finished it. And I think I kind of ruined it for myself because I forced my husband to watch Bridgerton season 1, as I do. I'm like, I liked it. We need to watch it together now and bond. And rewatching season 1 a few years later, I was kind of like, I don't love it. Like, this isn't doing it for me anymore. And I don't know what changed.
No, I think according to me, at least how I feel, because I didn't read the books. I just watched the show, and I was like, oh, this is hot, this is cute. He like, Duke, please, when, like, call me, right? Also, I'm also monogamous, but reality and fiction. So anyway, I was watching it, and then I watched it with my husband, or rather, sorry, I was watching, and then my husband is like, what? Is this porn? Like, what's going on, ma'am? Why are you like daylight? What's going on? And I was like, no, this is, a show. You should watch with me. Like, trying to bond. Ugh. And then he ruined it a little bit because he was pointing every plot hole as to what Daphne was doing. So that happened. And then I read the second book and I said, oh, the actual issue is that this is a child, like Daphne almost. And it felt like she was just a lot bit unaware of said world, because the second book you're like, oh, this is hot because they're both consenting.
Right.
They're both into it, and the will they won't they, and friends to enemies is what, or enemies to lovers is what is my favorite. So that's when I realized why I didn't really like the first one.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Yeah. I think it's also the line from season 3 that stands out, right, with like the Featherington Dotting sisters being like, put what where? Like, that was Daphne's MO for the first season.
Correct.
Like, oh, this is how this works. And like, there is a little bit of romantic aspect to it, and maybe it's just because of the chemistry of the actors. But yeah, when you do look at it from more of an outsider perspective, it's like, oh, there's a lot more education here than there is any sort of equal dynamic.
For sure. And also like, so I'm a big reader as well, and I was thinking about reading them, and I'm like an avid Goodreads user. Like, I review every book, and I'm a big reader. And I went to look at the Bridgerton ones, and the Goodreads reviews on the Daphne Duke one are like outrage because of rape. Because when she is like sitting on him, and he's like, no, I don't want to, bust a nut in you. Can I say that on this show?
You did.
Fine, you already did.
She's like, no.
That nut is busted.
And that nut busted. And anyway, so the readers were like, this is not okay. And I was like, I didn't even think about that when I was watching it. I was just like, haha, she's going to have a baby.
Yeah. No, of course. Yeah, I immediately, we are in another life podcasted about Bridgerton, and that the reviews were low-key coming after us because we were like, no, this is not okay just because he's like attractive and your husband, that you can't do stuff like this. So no, I'm with you.
Dark turn.
Yeah, so that's, I think, the issue necessarily. But season 2, again, unfortunately, book is better. Whatever, guys, get over it. I'm a reader, but that's, again, I just feel it's an exciting escapism, and it feels like they're just older people that get it.
Yeah, it always does. It's like the BuzzFeed articles that are like, how old are these actors in real life? And it's like, playing a 12-year-old is 36. And you're
Me
like,
with Never Have I Ever. Yeah.
Hannah Montana's brother.
Yes.
Is like weirdly old. And then like the Nickelodeon documentary comes out, even though it was Disney. And you're like, oh no.
Yeah, that guy was in his 30s, I think, while he was on that show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Did either of you watch Never Have I Ever?
No,
I watched the first season.
No, it's no book. The Mindy Kaling show.
Oh, I was thinking of To All the Boys I Loved Before.
Yes, fair. fair. Great, another great movie. But no, Never Have I Ever, Paxton Hall Yoshida, who is the hottie that the main character likes, season 1, so I'm not spoiling anything, who the main character proposes sex to, actually, to take her virginity. Yes, he's the hot jock, and she's like, corners him after swim practice and is like, so you want to meet up to have sex? Mind you, this Davy mess has no idea about the world. And he's like, okay, come over. And then she's like, oh, actually, I don't want this on your futon.
Ugh,
But that's the whole
so
thing. But
valid.
yeah, but anyway, so I think you would like it. You should watch it. And it's a quick 30-minute like show. So
Oh.
anyway, but he plays, he's 30 something now. And it was a teenager, like she was 17 when she was supposed to play her. And they were kissing.
Well, remember also like the outrage that happened in season 8 maybe of Game of Thrones, where Arya Stark, who like we've watched grow up from this baby. I don't remember, do you actually see her boobs, or is she just like naked from the back? I don't know, but she's about to bang someone and people were like not okay with it. And I was like, come on, everyone's about to maybe die. Like it's okay, but it's like we're sexualizing, and it's like people have sex. So we didn't see her nips. That would have felt different. And if we did, I take it back. Sorry.
No,
Fair.
I don't think we did. It was just, I remember, it being odd because it's like, I don't know, it's almost like we're not their like uncles and aunts, but we're sort of the family friend uncles and aunts. It's like, well, I watched you grow up and now I have to see you do this. This is not what I signed off on. You're just that little girl that liked to play with Serial Pharrell in King's Landing this entire time. But also like, listen, I think we already kind of crossed that bridge when she was just like mercilessly slitting people's throats.
Which like weirdly is more okay than sex. But also like season 1, episode 1, we're watching a teenage Daenerys get raped. And we all kept watching.
Yep. Did you watch, or I'm sure maybe at least an episode, I'm sure everyone has watched that 70s show, right? Where Mila Kunis lies about her age.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's 16. And they had to tell her, like, just lie that you're 16 because this is crazy. And everyone else, obviously, much older. Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, and now look, that's how she found the guy. They're happily together with their unbathed children.
That literally, why was
storybook ending?
That? Yes.
Sorry, question.
You didn't know this?
Yeah,
no,
do you not know this?
Social media, so I don't like know a lot.
Yeah, so I believe it was last year, Sasha, like Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher.
Just last year,
maybe they did an interview where they were like, they bathed their children every like 3 or 4 days.
And then it like came a whole bunch of, I feel like, celebrities came out and was like, yeah, we don't. 2021, yes.
Oh, 2021, wow.
Dax Shepard's podcast, and they go, yeah, they talked about bathing and blah blah blah, and how they think bathing their kids is so dumb.
Wow, I didn't bathe for 3 days on Survivor, and that was traumatic.
Yeah, and then she like went on Ellen to defend it. Like, it's so funny. Like,
interesting. Okay, I didn't know that was a thing, and I feel more well-rounded as a human now that I know.
Well, it's like the inner monologue question that came up like a couple of years ago, where it's like, you realize a frightening amount of people in the world either like do or don't believe in it. To Sasha's point, like I believe the quote that was said when they were talking about it on Dax's podcast, like Dax kind of normalized. He's like, yeah, unless I see dirt on my kids, unless they're covered in grime, I don't wash them either. And it's like, Am I the insane one?
Yeah.
Or are all these other very rich people the insane ones?
Right.
They can afford good health care. There's a difference.
It's true. It's true.
Oh my God. It just, again, comes back to Bridgerton, right? But it's not actually. But where all these folks, especially I think the British, learn hygiene when they started colonizing all these other countries. And I don't know if you've seen Shogun, but there's a whole bathing storyline in Shogun because it's this white male and he's like, they're like, do you want to shower? Because it's obvious he smells like everyone's struggling, and this British guy, and they're just like, maybe we get him to just go in the water. Like, what?
Yeah, he's like, well, I took a shower 3 days ago. I don't need to shower again.
And these Japanese, like these feudal Japanese people are you could tell they're incensed.
Oh God. Do I need to watch Shogun?
I think you should. Yeah, you could. I mean, listen, the Emmy voters say yes, considering that they just won wholesale in so many ways. I think so. I think you'd really enjoy it. I mean, it's the biggest barrier to entry is probably that so much of it is in Japanese, and so you're relying a lot on subtitles. But like, that's a low bar to clear, in my opinion.
Yeah. I watch most shows with subtitles anyway. I feel like I can't hear without them. So
There we go. You're among friends.
Yeah, especially the British shows. Like anything.
Oh yeah.
I need subtitles, and Side note, here's a show I watched recently that a friend told me to watch that I just like had never really heard about, and it was so good, and I feel like more people need to watch it. It's The Sex Lives of College Girls on
yeah.
HBO. What? Where was I? I mean,
Okay, so if you
so
like
every
that, you
episode.
need to watch Never Have I Ever. That's a high school like with only one Indian girl, but still, she's also with
Okay.
a white man, Mindy. But you will pay for your
Mindy.
crimes. But yes, who is your favorite? I'm sure.
Renee Rapp. I mean, so listen, I am a musical theater, Broadway,
Yes.
human. Like my whole got like Hamilton post. I am musical theater, and Renee Rapp. I mean, makes me question my sexuality on the reg.
Yeah. Come on, Leighton. I love it.
So then I have to ask, what do you think of the musical episode of Grey's?
Okay, a random musical episode is hit or miss. One of my favorite shows of all time, most like profound impact, is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I was about to say, yeah.
It's gotta be. And the musical episode of Buffy went hard.
Okay, fair.
It went hard.
Yeah.
I will stand by that forever. And it was so freaking good. The Grey's musical episode, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. And also some of them can't sing.
Correct.
And so you're like, oh, it's like Russell Crowe in Les Mis. And you're just like, there's this great YouTube video of like behind the scenes before maybe the Oscars or the Tonys. And it's the whole cast of Les Mis singing. And then Russell Crowe. And someone is like tapping to the beat and he's still singing off beat, like not in time with the music, a little bit off key. And you're just like, Russell, get it together.
As someone that can't sing and has great respect for people that can sing, playback singing, what's going on? Have someone else sing it.
Yeah.
Again, Bollywood, that's all they do. None of those actors can sing. So I will never, when I moved to America, again, very confused as to why these people need to sing and dance and do everything on screen. It's okay. Just make the other person famous.
There's a YouTube video. I have to look it up, but I forget it. Where like they go in depth into the issue that they did with that movie, where obviously it was like, okay, they're going to be playing live alongside the actors, so the actors can really feel their way through it and they can rephrase things if they want to, and how it just like leads to terrible musicality because instead of a backing track, now it's just all over the place because, oh, so-and-so decides to take a breath in this take as opposed to the next take. And as a result, now it's all thrown off.
Interesting.
That's crazy. They're just raw dogging musicals. I
mean, Les Mis and shows, the love of my life outside of my husband, his name is Aaron Tveit.
Oh,
he is a Broadway star, but he was also in Les Mis, the curly-haired one. And he was also Nate Vanderbilt's cousin in the original Gossip Girl.
Yes.
Trip Vanderbilt.
So, my God.
Yeah, so I
know who that is.
2 episodes of Gossip Girl in my life, and one of them involved Aaron Tveit, and I was like, Aaron Tveit was on this?
Oh my God. I saw him live in New York when he reprised his role as Christian in Moulin Rouge, and
But which time? Experience. Like for the 7th or 8th time?
No, not this most recent time, unfortunately. Last time.
Oh my God. I saw Cuba getting Junior in Moulin Rouge in London. Wild.
Who did he play?
The main character. I forget the name.
He can sing?
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I don't know that he can like sing, but it was good.
I have a weird Cuba thing, and I feel badly that I think about this every time I think about him now, because like Pearl Harbor is one of my all-time faves, and like Cuba is just a star. There's a video. I think I watched it on, I don't think it was on Last Week Tonight. It was on a scripted variety show, and it's Cuba Gooding Jr. at a nightclub with the microphone in his hand in front of everyone. And my husband and I say this all the time. This is really fucked up, and you might have to edit it out. He just goes, "Somebody suck that baby's dick." And that's all I can ever think about with Cuba Gooding Jr.
That's crazy.
Was there any context? Was there a baby in the room?
I've never gotten context, but I'm always just like, somebody suck that baby's dick.
Wait, shut up.
That's the new Show Me the Money.
Impossible.
I need that on a t-shirt. I'll be shot in North Carolina. But
yeah, you will.
Yeah, that's not okay. I'm not condoning this. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God. Wild. We just talked about celebrities, right? They have a certain niche that they need to fill. And Cuba Gooding Jr., I guess, had something he needed to say.
They're just like us.
This is like the Jerry Seinfeld that's like, cancel culture exists. Oh no, I hate this. And it's like, meanwhile, they're saying all of this stuff.
It's true.
I
So-
love them.
I gotta ask Hannah, as a musical theater lover, I did this as well. Were you into Smash? Were you into Glee? Was that what occupied your space in like the late 2000s, early 2010s?
Never seen Smash in my life. Didn't know there was a musical aspect to it.
Ooh.
Somehow. I don't
Smash
know
is
where
literally about making a Marilyn Monroe musical.
I don't know. I thought it was like about the army.
Wait, I'm dead.
Is it like
You're
Smash, like
thinking of
S
MASH.
star?
You're thinking of MASH.
MASH, right?
Where it's like M.
I have
star,
not seen
A.
either of them, but that's MASH. I'm
Okay, well,
pretty
I've
sure.
never heard of Smash somehow in my life ever.
Wow. Okay, so Smash, it's starring Deborah Messing, Christian Borle, Catherine McPhee, Megan Helty. So yeah, it's them making a Angelica Houston. They're making
It's
a
not
musical.
MASH.
It's not MASH, that's for sure. Alan Alda has
was
no
like, that's a
place
weird-
in this. I mean, it's bad. It's a very bad show, but it's quite delightful to watch with how bad it is.
Wow. Okay, so no. And Glee, yes. Did I make my husband watch Glee as an adult? You bet it. Did he begrudgingly like it? Yes, he did. Loved Glee, would die for Glee. Also representation. Corey
Yes.
Monteith, rest in peace.
Mm.
That episode, the quarterback, still
Oof.
fucks me up. Loved Glee. Watching the documentary about Glee was incredibly disturbing because and Puck was my favorite character and the super hot cheerleader. I mean, it's like so many of them have died.
Yeah.
Also.
Well, I mean, also speaking of Puck, talk about a person who's like 28 playing a 16-year-old on TV.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I did love Glee when it came out. I loved Glee as an adult. I will sing Glee. I mean, the Glee version of Don't Stop Believin' forever.
I love that.
Yeah.
Did you have a show? Speaking of all these, I feel like it's just taking me back. Did you have a show, or have a show rather, I should say, comfort show that you feel like you always reach for?
I think if I'm going through something like the last time, I'm trying to think of the last time I went through like a breakup or something where I was like, I am unwell. Oh, I guess Survivor airing. I was pretty unwell and I couldn't watch Survivor for a while. But what did I go to? When did I rewatch Buffy?
Ooh.
I think I might have rewatched Buffy after Survivor because I became friends with one of the hosts of, oh fuck, what's the Survivor podcast? Drop Your Buffs. And I
Ooh.
sent him a picture of myself sobbing, I think, during the series finale because the co-host wrote a book about Buffy. And so we like bonded. Anyway, it's a whole thing. I think Buffy would be a comfort show if I really needed something. I mean, I haven't reverted back to like Dawson's Creek, but I watched that after a breakup once. I think The Office always, like, I know millennials are like Harry Potter and The Office, but like, yeah, that's my fucking personality. So
Yeah, but now there's a new Office coming to Australia. Maybe that'll be the Gen Z basic show to turn to.
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just put out a teaser for it. I saw it yesterday that like it's not as much of a copy paste as like the original episodes of The Office US were for the UK, but it's like very incredibly similar structure. Boss, stick up their ass, kiss ass, number one. The couple that's will they, won't they. What's interesting though is they're bringing in a little bit of like 2020 stuff to it. Like they're like, okay, now I want to announce we're all fully back in office 24/7. So like that's going to be interesting because it'll be like
that is
both
interesting.
a reboot, but also an updated scenes.
Okay, I might have to watch that. I just noticed I literally have a Michael Scott thing right there. Yeah.
Is it the
I got Star
yes, I
Wars,
see it.
Michael Scott. It's the you miss 100% of the shots
Yeah,
you
let's
don't
say.
take. Yeah.
Wayne
It was a
Gretzky, yeah.
gift. It was a gift. But yeah. Yeah, so I would say like Buffy, The Office, like something light, Arrested Development even. Something to just like bring me back, but also like I know it all so well that it's just like
Were you Team Angel or Team Spike in Buffy?
Can you guess based on like my whole affect?
I mean, I'd probably say Team Spike.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I would have
forever.
picked.
Again, I'm sorry I've brought this up now like 4 times, but a little rapey in one episode. Okay, straight up rape. Sorry, in one episode. You can edit out every time I say rape on this podcast. But Team Spike forever. I got a cameo from him for my mom not that long ago, and like he's old though, and it's weird. I know people age, but it was jarring.
Vampires
also
don't
weird.
though.
Vampires don't. Weird throwback, which you probably haven't seen. I'm also like a sci-fi girly.
Mhm.
Rewatch for comfort would be Babylon 5. And if anyone watching this has seen Babylon 5, you're a real one.
Okay, so I've definitely heard of it. I haven't dabbled into it. I'm watching Battlestar Galactica for the first time, the reboot.
I've never seen it.
I've only seen 2 seasons, and it's been really, really good. It's just celebrating its 20th anniversary. So
wow.
It's on Peacock. Smash is on Peacock.
Oh, not MASH.
MASH might also be on Peacock.
MASH might also be on Peacock.
I'm trying to think too of like, remember old iTunes? I mean, you can obviously still buy shows, but like when I was in college, I would like buy a season of a show, and I'm trying to think of what I still have on my iTunes. Yeah, like with a parent's credit card, and then deny that it ever happened.
Yeah, I did. I still have like the first 3 episodes of Mad Men, like in my Apple TV account.
Wild.
Interesting.
I only went to the special sites.
Good for you. I have the OC and I have Buffy, and I also have my comfort show when I was not sober and would use marijuana often was Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
There we go. Okay, Sasha, do you know what this is?
No.
So this was was like the consummate Adult Swim show back when Adult Swim was like
okay, yes, I do. Okay, no, I have at least seen an episode.
Master Shade,
I almost got a meatwad tattoo, and then I was like, I actually still might, honestly. I might get a meatwad tattoo.
That is so. You must send us pictures.
Meatwad is Jewish. There's
Hello, I'm Jewish.
Little Jewish star. Same.
Yeah. So I love this for us.
Mike Bloom, are you also?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow. Rare.
Look at here we are. Should we all get group meatwad tattoos?
Right? As Jews. My mom would literally murder me. Oh my God.
Yeah, mine are past that. I'm the youngest.
Yeah,
and like
fair.
Every time I just got one of my dog's name on Mother's Day, like for funsies, and like no one cares anymore. They're like, she's too far gone.
Listen, as an only child, and I'm Indian and I'm Jewish, impossible. The mom stereotype, never beaten the allegations.
How many pop culture tattoos do you have, Hannah? Obviously, you put out the Lost one. Do you have any other ones?
Okay, Lost. I have a Stormtrooper.
Ooh.
I did find out that Stormtroopers are like an allegory. That might be the incorrect word for Nazis. So like,
I mean, quite literally, that's where the word comes from. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, I have a Stormtrooper. What else do I have? I have so much random shit. No, I have a sloth. That's not pop culture. I just love sloths. No, but I will say some people from my season have gotten Survivor-related tattoos. I don't think they've come out with them, so I won't say anything more about that.
Like, here we go.
Yeah, like tribe stuff, and I just fucking hate owls. I'm not getting a Lulu owl. You can't pay me to get an owl. I hated owls before Survivor. I hate owls now.
I forgot that the owl was your tribe,
I didn't even know. I was like, what are we talking about?
Segue into something?
Yeah. No, that's when I knew. That's when I knew. I got the canteen, the dirty, sandy canteen, and I saw an owl on it, and I was like, this is doomed from the start.
Oh my God. I thought you were about to make some Drake reference, and I was like, yeah, he's not cool right now.
No. I was Team Kendrick before all of this. I'm happy to announce.
Listen, a brown Jew, okay? I was very much like, well, at least I can marry him. But I am too old.
Comfort show, Degrassi.
Let's talk about
to me,
this.
Okay, I have never been able to take Drake seriously because I grew up watching Degrassi.
Yeah.
Well, you're not lying.
Right, I had to watch it in our health class in high school.
What?
Where did you go to high school?
We had the coolest teacher.
Yeah, it was like so progressive.
This is like going into med school because you watch Grey's Anatomy. Like, talk about a fictionalized version of like, don't do drugs, kids.
Yes.
Look what JT's doing when he's selling OxyContin to support his and Liberty's baby.
Yeah. So like, to me though, Drake was always gonna be Jimmy.
Yeah,
and when he came out with like started from the bottom, I'm like, you started in Canada, my dude. Like, what bottom are you talking about?
Real ones remember him as Aubrey Graham, that's for sure.
And also like the whole episode about how he can't necessarily get his peenie up because he's
I forgot about that episode.
I think about that every time I see Drake. I'm like,
I can't get over that he was shot and that he was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And then he became a rapper.
Wanted to like sit on it. Yeah. So no. Kendrick all day.
Oh my God. Did you were you a Degrassi completionist or was there a moment of drop off?
I was a Degrassi, not like the one with the old, like their
Yes.
parents, like the younger
Well,
one,
yeah,
and not
right.
the one
watched that.
after. I think I definitely watched past the shooting. I think I might have watched it all. And then a few years ago, I found out that the entire show, before they put it on, whatever they put it on, maybe HBO Max, was on YouTube, like just full episodes.
What?
And I was just
Oh, wow.
rewatching it. And it's like episode 1, season 1, eating disorder. And I was like, oh, we really just got right into it, huh?
Oh my God. Do you ever
Mhm.
rewatch this stuff and be like, I really watched this as a kid? Like, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Who let me watch a lot of the things that I consumed?
Literally, all of it.
Yeah. All of it. All of the above.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing, though. We had Degrassi. Does this generation have Euphoria now? Is that their Degrassi?
Yes. And Euphoria is way worse. I mean, Euphoria is such a well done show. I am like a Zendaya stan forever. And it's just so well done. The acting is incredible. It is so disturbing. Like, even as a fully formed, like, my brain is developed and I have like coping skills and like community. Like, I am okay today. And I'm watching it and I'm like, yeah, doing drugs like that and putting glitter on my face seems legit. And it's like, no, Hannah, you learned this the hard way. And so I just feel for a lot of people used Euphoria as their diagnostic case conceptualization in that class.
Mm. Wow. And Drake is a producer on it.
I did not know this.
How did he- I don't even want to ask.
That's why the
how
song.
he
That's
found
why.
himself.
Yeah, that's why Kendrick's one of the songs is called Euphoria.
But what did the?
I did
How-
not know.
You're welcome, everyone.
I don't want to.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't want to
You're
think about
actually
this.
executive producer.
Drake is everywhere.
Oh my God. In my mind, I was like, oh yeah, because he did Degrassi, so Euphoria makes sense.
They are not the same. They are not the same. Oh my God. Yeah, Degrassi, it's very like, it really is high school, like disturbing, but it's so much
Yes.
more innocent in so many ways.
Agreed.
Euphoria is like, I'm going to go on this app and meet this scary older man and get railed and
Yeah.
do drugs. It's just different. It's just different.
Yeah,
No, I think Euphoria. Maybe it's down to the number of episodes in a season. Like Euphoria has
Fair.
a short episode, so they have to cram a lot of problems in there. Whereas Degrassi, it's like, okay, this week Liberty has dyscalculia, and then in the next episode we'll have Manny and Craig having sex and her having to get an abortion.
Yes. Or Manny wearing a thong.
Yes.
Oh,
See,
that outfit.
That has like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I was like, I need to go to Victoria's Secret after that. I was like, I need that, even though it's not cute now.
And now as an
That's
older,
it.
I'm like, that's so uncomfortable. What are people
Yeah, I'm
thinking?
like, how do you sit comfortably?
But listen, when you're young, I don't think anything matters.
Nothing matters. Nothing matters.
God, Manny Santos. What a
I also loved when, because it's sort of like in the Disney mold, right? Where it's like, okay, we're gonna try everybody out as a singer. Like, you sort of have a
Oh,
backdoor
God.
singing career when you were on the Disney Channel. They kind of did that with Degrassi. Like, they did that with Manny. Obviously, Craig had, was it like Downtown Sasquatch was the name of their band. that they're like, okay, you're an
Whoa.
out and out musician now.
What a reference. How
God,
did
he
you
was
retain
so
this
annoying. I
information?
really hated Craig.
I
Every time
liked
he was
him,
on
and
screen,
then
I
didn't
needed
like
him to move.
Didn't he have an abusive dad?
Yes.
He did.
Yeah, pulled on my heartstrings, I was like, the makings of a therapist, these shows. You're like, I just want to help them. Side note, I haven't said this. So when I met you first, Mike Bloom, I was still very much a therapist, but I had started transitioning my clients out because I didn't want to continue working with clients after they see me half naked crying on an island. It just seems unprofessional. I know Ellie and Tori did it, but like, I don't know. And so it's like, technically I am a therapist, but I haven't seen clients since before Survivor. I have not provided therapeutic services.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, transitioned out of there.
Ooh.
I was also super burnt out, so I was like, right.
Fair.
That's fair.
But yeah. Everyone's always like, well, you're a therapist. I'm like, am I? Like, I am, but like, am I?
No, you meant more of like you worked with people, but now you work with people in a different way, more of a management role.
I am a CEO.
Love that.
Woo.
I'm just reading up on Downtown Sasquatch. I forgot that Spinner was the drummer, but then they kicked him out because he was responsible for the aforementioned Jimmy getting shot in the back, and they're like, That's it. You're out of the
Yes.
band.
That's a pretty valid boundary. Also, as much as I'm not like, I do know like every Drake song and like fuck with Drake, even though I'm like, boo. Remember when he came out with 50,000 on my neck? That's disrespect. I'm
Yeah.
upset. Remember when he came out with I'm upset?
I'm
Did
upset.
You guys see the music video for that?
Yes.
Oh, right,
Are
yeah.
you kidding?
Degrassi started.
That's how it
Yeah.
opened. Was him
then
and
they ended
Spinner.
And they ended it with
The
Degrassi
basketball
theme song.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes. Fuck what I know I can make it through.
This is why, listen, Drake lost, and he should have lost, right? Like, he's problematic, period. All of this, okay? Yes, I want to hold that. And this is why he's the summer hit maker, because he just knows how to get the right beat, the right thing in front of you. That's all he knew what he was doing. Nostalgia is in.
Nostalgia bait, baby. There we go.
Oh, I am a nostalgia
I was
girly.
so excited when they were like, I can literally see the music video. That's how ridiculous. Many times
I want to dress like them. I want to be them. I want to go to Degrassi. I want to be Canadian. Side note, speaking of a theme song that's a bop.
Yes.
There are two.
Okay.
One of them, I believe it's also fully subtitled, and I haven't watched it, but my husband watched it, and so I bopped. Every time the theme song came on, I would come into the living room and dance in front of the screen. Tehran, like the capital of Iran.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the capital?
Yes. Okay. That theme song goes hard, and I listen to it in my car. And then secondly, and probably more receptive to the people, Succession.
Mm-hmm.
Mike will tell
There's
you.
a rap song, and someone laid that tune on it, and I'm like, you know.
I was gonna say, when you talk about the rap song, I was thinking about a very different rap song that's associated with Succession.
What song?
L to the OG, baby.
Oh.
I've never
like
seen it.
the theme. Oh my god, it's good.
I
I didn't think
know.
I'd like it because I'm like a bunch of like older white dudes. And
That's exactly why I didn't want to watch it.
Let me just say, so I had Brooke from The Amazing Race on here a few weeks ago, and I publicly recommended it to her. Since then, in a 2-week period, she blitzed through the entire thing and like texted me her thoughts throughout and was like, "Oh, I'm so glad I watched this. This is incredible." So
yeah,
that's
I
vouching.
watched yes, this is the show. So I watched
watch it.
the first 2 episodes or something like that with my mom, and it was that like ejaculation scene.
Oh yeah.
Where Macaulay Culkin's brother, does the whole thing, and my mom is like, "But what is the reason?"
But what
power?
It's all
ego.
about
my mom is like, Americans, they just have to do this like weird sex.
But that's the thing though, is that like I honestly feel like Succession is one of the best representations of American culture I have ever seen.
That's fair.
It's primarily based in like greed and constantly like clawing, pulling yourself up by dragging other people down. Capitalism, to your point, like stoking the flames of media. Like it is brilliant.
Sounds like Survivor to me, which is why I didn't fit into it. Also, speaking of another show that I was like, I'm not gonna like this because it's a bunch of old white men riding horses. Yellowstone, baby, 10 out of 10.
Oh my god, really?
Yes.
So I watched the other who is the creator or writer of Yellowstone? Actually,
Taylor Sheridan.
Thank you. So I watched the other Taylor Sheridan show to cover it on also shout out Tulsa King because I'm from Tulsa. And he literally lives, sorry, this is such a side note, but Sylvester Stallone, the place he's supposed to live in is the hotel I got married at. So every time he's like going into the mail, I'm like, this is crazy. Because I have that same exact shot.
Amazing.
I was like, I also have that drone shot of me walking in because my videographer did.
That is so exciting. I feel like when you see a place that you've been or have existed in a show, it's like the best thing ever. That is how I felt for all of Love Island USA. This with Ariana Madix, because it was filmed at
Lioness
that I lived at for a freaking month.
Oh my god, that's wild.
And I was like, I've been there. I hung out there. I did nothing there. I didn't regret quitting there. Like it was phenomenal. So that's so cool. I've never seen Tulsa King. I might have to
It's
So then what was the other show you were talking about?
Lioness. It was
Oh,
Lioness.
Lioness, the Zoe
And I-
Saldana show.
And you can Linus is coming back. I watched it in that I found it very funny. It's not a funny show. It's an FBI, CIA special ops. It's literally special ops Lioness.
Ooh.
Nicole Kidman's in it. So you're like, this is gonna be a great serious show. Zoe Saldana, right? Like you're just like, wow, it's gonna be good. Y'all, it's written, you could just tell. And before I knew who wrote it, you can just tell that it's written by a man, a white man, via the lens, and trying to like make it work for a woman of color, a Black woman, whatever you want to say.
Oh no.
And
well, Yellowstone is good.
Yeah, so that's why I never went back to watch Yellowstone, because I was so annoyed
I loved it.
by
Speaking of white men, can you name this reference and from what show and who said it? A white man? No.
Oh, it's Schmidt from New Girl.
This is why I love you.
Yeah, I was gonna be. It's either New Girl or what's that cartoon? Shoot, where they're in Texas.
Oh, King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
I mean, that does sound like a Dale Gribble line of like a white man. But yeah, that's
man.
Well, that's the thing though. Speaking of Emmys, Lamorne Morris ends up winning for Fargo, and everyone's like, well, this is more so trying to make up for the fact that he was never even nominated as Winston Bishop from New Girl.
As Frank Sinatra. New Girl is also one of the best shows.
Oh my God. Want to know what I have been down now? The Wayans Wayans family. And been watching all.
You've been watching again, right, for Papa's House, Sasha?
Basically, I think I'm gonna watch Papa's House because Marlon, right, goes on Shannon Sharp. Shout out Shannon.
Which Shannon Sharp live stream was he on?
I don't know if you know.
Hannah, Shannon Sharp was caught in intimate affairs on a live stream on Instagram last week.
Okay, thank you for letting me know, because
he was barking and everything.
Oh, Shannon is a man.
Yes, Shannon is a man. He is ex NFL football player or ex NFL player.
Is he the one with the gap in his teeth?
That's a skip. I don't know. Does he have a gap?
Oh no, you're thinking of Michael Strahan.
Oh yes, no. Shannon Sharp. Yeah, no. But anyway, he's a football player, commentator, all this stuff. But he also has this podcast where all these like very famous, mostly Black celebrities have gone on and just like portal to whatever has been open, because Cat Williams went on it into January, and since then everything has just been in a tornado. Like Cat Williams in January said Diddy is going to he's gonna get what's coming for him soon, and he noted every single thing that was gonna happen. Yep. So that's why
Cat Williams is psychic? Question mark.
Who knows? But no, the reason I brought that up is because the Wayans brothers. So Marlon went on it to like promote his thing, and then he started talking about how New Girl and Lamont Harris, like all these people feel like now the third generation of the Wayans family almost. Yeah, and it's just
because Lamorne was on New Girl with Damon.
Yes, with Damon. So and when Lamont was doing either Jimmy Kimmel show, one of the late night shows, Marlon goes on and like just drags him the whole time, and he's like, I'm not like your nephew, right? I was just on a show with him called New Girl.
That's so good.
Yeah, so I love like anything New Girl, and it's just like I don't know, what a great show. I've watched it so many times.
Same. Also good comfort show.
I think it's a really good comfort show.
Correct.
Well, Hannah, we were so happy to welcome you into our family of the TV For Real family. This was such a great time. Is there anything else you want to say? Anything you want to plug? Any shows that you're already diving into on your ready to watch list that are left in your queue?
We're watching The Perfect Couple right now just because I read it, and so I've been waiting to watch it. I mean, anything Nicole Kidman touches, Presumed Innocent, so good. A one-season banger, like Hijack with Idris Elba.
Ooh.
One-season bangers go hard.
Correct.
Also, anything on Apple TV Plus, like Severance. I need to talk to someone about the last episode of Severance. I'm still shook from it.
Listen, we might have to have the conversation on a different day, at least before it comes back next year.
Yeah. But no, thank you for having me. This is like, I could talk about this forever, and it makes me, it's like, I am more than just that girl that cried and quit Survivor. I'm a
Period.
show connoisseur. Yeah.
Absolutely. And thank you for showing off some of your exquisite taste today. Sasha, anything you'd like to plug today?
Yes. As always, if you want to know why something's trending, why something's going on, you need to check out Mess Magnets with Kirsten McInnes and I are talking celebrity gossip and everything else. We just covered The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So if you want to know more, listen, it's on the Rob Has a Podcast YouTube channel. We went on YouTube this time. And if not, just go to messmagnets.com now. I believe we have our own website.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
So,
Side note, I
we're
need to
official.
watch and listen
Please.
to it because I don't know anything about
Oh my God.
They're
anything that's
so
happening.
good. They are
Thank
your
you.
teachers.
Wow.
We
Wow.
end up, I will say, like, the plug is because we are very passionate about this work, so we end up doing like a lot of research, like it's a true crime podcast, but it's not, but we're both true crime junkies, so that's how, I don't know how to explain it, but that's how we end up doing.
That sounds amazing.
But yeah, we're very messy. So vibes only podcast, but we actually do a bunch of research on
awesome.
it. So yes, please check it out. I think it was really fun and silly. And then we end it with a listener submitted anonymous.
Oh.
So yes. So our messengers are killing it. They always send us the best ridiculous mess. And it is Rob's favorite segment. So here we are. And of course, Chappelle and I are still talking Below Deck. We're almost at the finale, everyone.
Oh, are you a fan, Hannah?
Look at this. Every time everyone
My
is.
job would be a sailor.
Oh my God. I love that show. It's literally my favorite. I think I've watched almost every season. If not, for sure, every episode. But yeah, so we're still talking Below Deck Med. Honestly, City Girls are down right now, unfortunately, because of these stews. But here we are. Okay, check it out. And again, we will go live on the Rob Has a Podcast YouTube channel or the Below Deck RHAP Ups feed. I believe it's still called that. And and listen, Mike. We're picking up the mantle that you put down. But Matt Lagori, Brandon Donlin,
okay.
and I, yes, are gonna talk the premiere episode of Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, yes.
So Brandon.
I
So
know
Brandon.
exactly. So I'm excited. Listen, Phaedra's on. So
Phaedra, and
I'm
also
there.
a little bit of Mess Magnets there as well. If you could talk about some of the trouble that maybe some of the pros have gotten in recent memory.
Period. Little Miss Ankle Bracelet. Okay. And can't wait. So check all of that out. And check out my Twitter at funsize_04 to keep track of everything else. What about you, Mike?
So Survivor is back up. I talked with the newest first boot to join, Miss Hannah Rose. Doing the B&B with Liana and Gabby Fescuzzi should be a lot of fun.
Oh,
Still covering Big Brother and the challenge as that is happening. But over on the scripted side of things, of course, we started this podcast with Lost. We'll end it with Lost. Josh Wigler and I are still doing our run through of Lost a season at a time for first-time watchers, for those that have checked it out on Netflix and nothing else. Hannah, listen, if you want to get into Lost podcasting, we have about 300 hours of podcast for you on Down the Hatch, where we spoiler-filled rewatch copiously through.
So good. Like, obviously,
I
Mike
love that
won't
it's
say it, but
called
I will.
Down the Hatch.
Down the Hatch. It's myself and Josh Wigler. And so you can check that out. But right now we're also putting forward, a little bit of like a dalliance through Lost for first-time watchers as well. The Chappelles of the world that just came into it for the first time. And then actually some new coverage to announce. I will be doing episodic recaps of The Penguin, which is debuting on Max tonight, September 19th. And then episode 2 is coming like September 29th. They're doing a little bit of an early premiere, but myself and Grace Leader are going to be doing episodic recaps of that. I'm very intrigued by it. Colin Farrell, it's a role that he said he never wants to do again after this. So we'll see if it's just prosthetics or if it's more than skin deep. So we'll be sure to get into that. And of course, TV for real. Sasha and I will be back next week with another reality TV alum talking their taste in scripted TV. Thank you all so much for listening. Hannah, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
We'll be back next week with more reality TV alum talking scripted TV. Until next time, everybody, it's been real.